Mairo, and you are from La Liga, or how do we?
La Liga Nigeria.
La Liga Nigeria. You are the
Projects and Communications Coordinator.
right.
Do you know when projects and what? Sorry?
Communications Coordinator.
Thank you.
Adegbenro.
Communications coordinator.
Studio live now, Lagos. Here we go. And you are live inside the locker room here on Smooth 98.1. It's Ayo Mairo Ese and Mazino Appeal. Thank you very much. I knew you were going to do that, but welcome inside the locker room. We have in the studio, yes, long title, drum roll, blah, blah, blah. Tega Tiger.
No, he didn't say anything. This is what they used to do to me when I was a baby. They used to lie. They will not say Tega beautiful, Tega pum pum. Then I'll think that they've gotten to the end of adjective and I'll stop
Tega
crying.
Pum pum.
I'm not going to agree.
That's the new one. You know
Good morning, Lagos.
You know what? May I would like to advocate that from now on. If you take a pum pum on the locker room.
I agree. I second that motion.
We have Tipsy Cole in the studio as well. Mr. Cole, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good to have you
fabulous.
here. We also have a guest in the studio. We're going to be, let's let you do that introduction, Tega.
Okay, so you know that the big one is this weekend. People can say, which big one? The El Clasico. Yes, so with the table poised as it is, we have a representative from the La Liga Nigeria office. I guess you didn't know that La Liga was that big. It's big. So the representative of La Liga is here. He is the project and communications representative. So he's coming to speak about the El Clasico. And then this viewing event. So
a big one.
Well,
so you get the opportunity
you
there.
are welcome inside the locker room.
Yes.
Good morning. It's good to be here.
Good to have you on the show.
Now, let's remind you, Lagos, you are a part of the show as well. 0809-444-0981. Too fast, I'll do it again. 0809-444-0981 is the number to send your WhatsApp messages to. Get up on Twitter. We're at Smooth91. Hashtag lock 981. Tiger, let's talk La Liga, yes, shall we? Or Ayo, who's going to be asking Mr. Ayodeji the questions?
La Liga. The first thing I'd like to ask you, Ayodeji, is the El Clasico is this weekend. Why is it a big deal?
It's the biggest club football game in the world. No doubt about that. The two biggest clubs in the world, the best players in the world are on parade in this game. And for this season, actually, you realize that when you look at the position of both clubs on the table, Barcelona on top now, 2 points ahead of Real Madrid because they won last week and Real Madrid lost to Levante. So a lot is actually riding on this game because it could go down to the wire at the end of the season. And if it does, the result of this particular game could determine who actually wins the league because the first leg earlier in the season ended in a draw. So whoever wins this one, if they ended up being tied on points at the end of the season, it will come down to head-to-head, and it will come down to whoever wins on Sunday.
That makes it absolutely very amazing, and I can imagine for the fans out there.
Yeah, why it is such a big deal. Key one for La Liga is that Hazard may be missing the rest of the season.
Yeah,
but he's definitely missing this game.
He is missing this game, yes. But then again, he's been away for about 3 months. He just got back and got injured in his first game back, and Real Madrid have done well without him. So I feel like they can still cope without him on Sunday.
You just said he's useless? Or what?
No, he's a great player, but then again, this is Real Madrid.
All that money?
This is Real Madrid. So
I mean,
we're not at that part of the show yet.
Cristiano Ronaldo left, and the world didn't come to an end. So
you see, it is strange for Real Madrid. They spend big money to get, patients in the hospital. First was Gareth Bale, now it's Eden Hazard. God knows who the next big spending would be. I'm tipping Real Madrid to still win.
Really?
Yes,
you are?
Barcelona, very
pregnant.
pregnant.
Barcelona. I know some famous Barcelona and Real Madrid fans, mainly Barcelona. So looking forward to, and of course Messi.
Okay.
All right.
So there will be a viewing event, and everybody has the opportunity to be there.
So
tell us about it.
Yes, one of the reasons why a La Liga office was cited in Nigeria is to bring the La Liga closer to the fans in Nigeria.
Great.
I mean, not everybody can afford to go to Spain to watch this game. Even if everybody can afford to go, the stadium only seats about 80,000 people. So I mean, you can't. So we're trying to bring this experience as close to our fans here in Nigeria as possible. So that's why we're having a viewing party on Sunday at the Landmark Beach, 1st of March. We throw open the gates at 6 p.m. and the match kicks off at 9 p.m. But between 6 and 9, there are a lot of fun activities to engage the audience. I mean, there are games to play. There is an autograph signing session. There's a DJ on ground that will keep everybody.
Wait, this autograph signing session is the one that got me.
Yes, autograph signing
Yeah,
session.
autograph.
Is it with you, Ayodeji?
Not me. Samuel Eto'o will be there.
Oh.
La Liga ambassador, former Barcelona player.
Keep your braids on.
So someone who knows what it feels like to have played in a Clasico. Yeah. Mutiu Adepoju will be there as well, former Super Eagles captain, someone who actually also started his career at Real Madrid. So they will be signing autograph for the fans.
So how can La Liga fans be a part of this action?
It's free. Log on to the Eventbrite website, search for La Liga El Clasico. The event pops up. You register, then you get a free ticket. We're also making provision for people to be able to register at the gate, but because we have limited spaces out, make sure you register before you show up.
Tega, who you tipping to win again?
Real Madrid. I'm with
You're
Mutiu. I'm with me and
Monday?
myself and Mutiu.
Ayodeji, who you tipping to win?
I just want to enjoy a good game.
I don't think it's La Liga. Anybody that wins.
I'm with you. I'm tipping my teapot and just sipping some tea. A good game is okay.
All right, so you guys should not crash your website. You shall go slowly, but go now and register. What's the website again?
Eventbrite.
Okay, Eventbrite. Just look for the La Liga event.
To register. If you see anywhere they're asking you for money, it's a scam.
scam.
Just make sure that you register. I would advise you to do it before the day, honestly, because it might be turned.
Do it today so that by Friday they won't say tickets are finished.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much, Ayodeji.
Thank you very much,
Ayodeji Adegbero, the
Thank you very much for
communications and
having me.
projects coordinator at La Liga office in Nigeria. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Let's do basketball now, shall we? So there was an intersection of emotions at Kobe Bryant's memorial. Tega, I don't know if you've seen all the videos. In the 7 days after the crash, as many as 350,000 people passed through this plaza, leaving behind tens of thousands of flowers, more than 25,000 candles, 1,353 basketballs, more than 1,000 jerseys, hats, and T-shirts, more than 500. It goes on. Inside the arena, 24 foot by 24 foot stage stands at the center, and it's the occasion, and it was simply breathtaking, tear-jerking, everything. Did you see the videos?
I watched the memorial live, so it was on the NBA TV.
I saw it the morning after. And,
no.
I was in the studio here,
Okay.
and I actually just cried.
Oh,
But I cleaned it in time enough before I got in here. But
You did a Tega then.
I did a what?
You did a Tega.
I did a Tega.
Right.
No, I didn't go boo like that.
I'm not. Look, I grew up with Kobe Bryant. I'm not even apologetic about it.
No, she's not.
I would cry for
She's
good
not.
measure. So those of us that watched it live, we cried, we laughed, then we cried some more. It was such a
It was everything.
Yeah, it was everything
The
put
roller
together. So there were like, I think there were over 33,000 roses just to indicate the number of points that he had scored in the everything
Exactly
was
33,643 roses.
everything was done down to the signs.
Yes.
What he liked, what they liked, but what Vanessa was saying to everybody was that, look, I know that Kobe is your big deal, but I also lost my daughter, and she was going to be a big deal. So she was like, it was important that Kobe, Gianna didn't get lost in the Kobe celebration. So they also celebrated that, which is why you saw players like Lonesco, who Gigi saw and said that was her idol and she was going to try and play like her. You saw Turasi, the white mamba. And then you also saw the coach of UConn, where Gigi said she wanted to play. And he spoke a little about, the other side of Kobe trying to coach and to tell you how intense he was talking to this coach.
The Michael Jordan speech, however.
Oh, the Michael Jordan, we're getting there. So we're getting to this coach where this coach is saying a big deal, saying that, Kobe called him up and said, how do I do this? What are the X and O's? How do I teach them to defend that? Oh, and the coach is just looking at Kobe and saying, look, these girls are 13. They can't be doing all these X and O's and triangle defense and the rest. Just leave it. And that's how intense and competitive it was. So even if he was just teaching his daughter and grooming her, and sometimes lovingly too, but he was still that intense guy. Then we got to Rob Pelinka, who told us the last minutes of Kobe, where Kobe had sent him a text on the helicopter to ask him that he should connect. So the Atobelli family were on the helicopter, the husband, the wife, and one of their daughters. So the surviving daughter that was not on the helicopter wanted to go for internship in an agency, and Kobe was trying to get her
Facilitate that.
into the right agent. And so that was his last text. Please, can you get this girl connected to this agency so that she can do her internship? And a few minutes later, the plane crashed. So that was literally his last
Was
text,
helping someone.
last act, trying to help somebody. So it just even made it more emotional, just to show you exactly who he was. And then Michael Jordan comes up, and you know this thing where they pit players against players, and Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi have unfortunately fallen for it. But the media is going to sell their story, which is why they pit all these rivalries. Unfortunately, in basketball, it wasn't really selling, because at the end of the day, Michael Jordan was still close to Kobe. LeBron is still close to Kobe. You know, the players are supposed to be opposing each other,
Yeah.
are close
But
to
they're
each other.
friends,
Yeah, because they recognize at the end of the day, these media people are just trying to get our blood. And so Michael Jordan gave his own speech on how Kobe inspired him to be a girl dad, even if he also had boys, but a girl dad. It was so touching. And Michael Jordan is like me. Strong people, but we are not afraid to cry anyway.
You guys are just not the same.
Yeah.
Just not the same height.
Just not the same height. But we're pretty much alike. So it was so touching, especially when Vanessa came to speak. I wouldn't give that kind of long speech because I don't know that I can hold it together for that long.
Yeah.
She was
But
real
Well, he didn't hold it
MVP.
together himself. I
Eh,
mean,
eh,
he
eh.
even cracked up about the fact that he'll have to be seeing himself.
Yeah, we
memes for
are
the
still
next
going to
3 or
use him as
4
a
years.
meme. Don't worry.
Oh, that one, you can't run away from that one, Jordan, but
Yeah, we're going
lovingly
to-
so. in any
yeah.
case.
But Vanessa was really the strong,
Yeah, she
very
was real
strong.
MVP.
Spoke about her daughter first and then got into Kobe. It was, I don't know, like I said,
Listen,
that I
Tega,
could have
we can talk about this,
kept-
the
kept it
memorial
together.
for an
Honestly,
entire
we
day.
could, yes.
We don't have that time, but it was fantastic.
Yeah, and all of you that are looking for LeBron, first of all, people said LeBron made the first memorial in Staples Center about him. Now, he did not show his face. People are not saying, why didn't he show his face? People should calm down.
All right. Well, the source close to the family said the most important thing to them was that the day focused on both Kobe and Gianna.
Yeah.
So that was really important, like you mentioned. Let's move on to Serie A matches.
Serie A.
Set to be played without fans. So the Serie A matches are set to be played behind closed doors amid the coronavirus outbreak, which has hit the north of the country.
Wow.
8 proposals from the Italian Football Federation, that's the FIGC, are approved by the government. What do you have to say about this?
Yeah, it's pretty sad. We just hope that they quickly curb that particular virus. For an Italian side that played last night, I should guess they were lucky that it did not affect them because Napoli played FC Barcelona. They mustered a 1-1 draw in that particular one.
Was the
But-
stadium full?
It was more full than empty, the stadium, but it did not affect them. And I understand it's a side of Italy that is actually being affected, but it will not be fair for some teams to have their fans there and for others not to. So they're just
What's the
gonna make
impact
it
of having
uniform.
the fans there or not? What's
Ah,
I know the answer, Tega.
The
Don't tell me
home
like I'm just asking just to ask.
okay,
they call
have you
them-
no. Just have you ever watched your football without the volume?
I've watched The Matrix without volume.
Really?
Yeah,
Then how did you
How did you feel?
how?
I've seen it 100 times before. So
Okay. Like if I throw these headphones at you.
I was actually mouthing the words for them.
So, and that's what it is. So they need this to ride
Yeah,
on.
true.
It creates an atmosphere that's totally different, and so they would like to have this. But you know, Italians here are saying safety first.
Yeah. How about,
You know-
financial implications of that?
Oh, to affect them.
Safety first.
And
That's
safety
the
first.
thing,
At the end of the
before
day,
money.
you cannot count money if you are dead. So just be alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the quote for today.
Honestly,
You cannot count money if you're dead. Thank you. Let it be a food for thought for you guys. I tell you what we're gonna do. Let's take a break. When we come back, it's gonna be football inside the basketball session that is sponsored by Coca-Cola. Banter better with Coca-Cola when we get back.
So we're not going to do the Griezmann story.
He had already mentioned that Barcelona put a 100. That was the first
Oh really?
one.
That was
Yeah.
okay.
So that, which is why I said he should move.
When he mentioned Barcelona, I
Yes.
thought it was La Liga. I didn't know that it was
No, Champions League
Champions
last night.
League, Okay. Oh,
Take her, no
that's
time, oh.
why. 'Cause we're talking about Syria.
Where's she going?
I just thought it was Syria you were talking about.
Okay.
Okay. Nice one. What? Who still your design? Who still your design?
Who designed it?
Did you see the picture that she sent? This
You
woman.
know, I checked her page. I was actually trying to for pictures. I checked her. I don't find
She's
any
not a
picture
serious
that can.
person. Let me show you the picture she sent to
A
us.
doctor? What? Let me see, please.
No.
I can't
Actually, let
wait.
Mazino. No,
I wish you
let
see it
Mazino
on
see her.
Instagram.
No, let Mazino even see her coming.
See, people know I can't hold. I can't. If I say, whoa, are you for real?
Yeah,
that's the
what
person
she-
we have
Yeah,
coming
that's
in.
what that's the picture she sent.
I don't think I'll be able to speak.
No, mine is even that.
You know, she actually has some other posts where she's wearing the doctor's.
Why didn't she send that?
Beautiful women get me tongue-tied. Yes, exactly.
No, it's not even about that. It's
You're
about the fact that
blushing
how our
already.
people will
No.
believe
Can we
us.
go on?
Actually, my kind of woman, I find Uti very, very attractive. Over her.
Why?
Yeah, I like big bold women. But I didn't marry a big bold woman. Studio, here we go. Whoa! We're on YouTube. What the hell? Studio. Oh my God! I just put myself in trouble again. If you are not on YouTube, I think you should go there because we're deleting it. We are deleting it. Tega, welcome inside of the second half here inside the locker room. It's Banter Better with Coca-Cola. Do remember that every single communication or every single response you send us will have to be hashtag with the hashtag Banter Better with Coca-Cola. We're doing football. I'll just let you go first because I need to recover.
Yeah, you need to recover.
I don't know what I just done.
Frank Lampard. We have our first story here. Don't forget the rules of the game. Please keep it sane, keep it straight, keep it 100, keep it clear of vulgar or insulting words, and every single comment you send to us, use the hashtag Banter Better with Coca-Cola. So Frank Lampard, Chelsea experienced reality check. He says in the first half, we suffered in moments, but we defended resiliently. Technically, some of the defending wasn't great, but we stayed in the game and we also had a couple of chances. But for 90 minutes, you have to show more than we showed.
Yeah, it's obvious that anyone that knows football would have known that Chelsea would have found it very, very difficult to beat Bayern Munich. 3-0. As at halftime, they were probably dreaming of a miracle, but second half, Bayern turned on the screws and the 3-0, it's what it ended. A lot of people have called out Frank Lampard, saying it wasn't tactical. I mean, they are looking for a goal and he takes off one striker for another instead of bringing in Tammy Abraham to complement Olivier Giroud, and so many ways that I've seen Chelsea fans call for the head of Frank Lampard just because of that match alone. And I love to say that Bayern Munich in the past have actually beaten English sides, Arsenal to be precise, in their home, and gone on to lose the second match, the return match, even though they will still qualify, but they somehow always lose the second match. So Chelsea will be hoping to seek inspiration from what Arsenal did last time that they played Bayern.
Yeah, I think Stamford Bridge is more pressure for Chelsea for some reason. They should be performing at home. They should be secure and safe at home. They should feel like this is the ground that they are comfortable in. But for some reason, the pressure from the fans is always a lot more at Stamford Bridge. This season in particular. And so they were always going to struggle there. But after the first half, I would have thought Frank Lampard would say, you know what, Bayern Munich played a good first half. They just didn't find a way to put the ball in the back of the net. They had a lot of chances. So I expect it to be a more compact side. And watch, especially the key men. Nobody was really picking up. I don't know how Lewandowski, as big as he is, nobody's picking him up and moving around the 18-yard box. It's not. He shouldn't be have that kind of freedom. Someone should be chained to his ankle so that he doesn't move that freely. But they were not picking up the key pieces in that Chelsea attack, and because of that, it just left a lot of spaces, and the more they went out to search for goals, the more they kept themselves vulnerable for Bayern Munich to take advantage of. So yeah, tactically dropped the ball by Frank Lampard, but the second leg is there. It's just 90 minutes.
All right, let's see. We read one said Nyambri has scored more goals in London this season than Nicolas Pepe.
6.
Just a reminder that Arsenal sold him for £4 million and bought Pepe for £72
Hey,
million.
they found a way to
Someone
drag us
said
now.
Chelsea were looking for an away goal at their own stadium. Hashtag Banter Better with Coca-Cola.
Hashtag Banter Better with Coca-Cola. Chester from Amua says Bayern has hammered Chelsea blue at home and they'll be beaten black away. Blue black. Wow, that's a nice one.
And then we have from DJ G Finest, Majegule. See as Oshodi did quiet last night. As Chelsea lose, even people wait steal your phone before they cry. Before they cry.
I thought they used to say it's Arsenal fans that are Agbero. Now it's Chelsea fans.
It's Chelsea.
No, it's Chelsea fans.
Felix Seja from Maja says, hashtag Banter Better with Coca-Cola. Lewandowski has not yet started. In the second leg, he will single-handedly spell Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Let's move on now to our next story. Raheem Sterling fit for Man City's Real Madrid game in Champions League last 16. Now, Guardiola said Raheem is fit. His physical condition and regeneration is amazing. Basically, he's Wolverine. He said he could have played against West Ham and Leicester City. But the doctor said it was too soon, but that was a good sign. On the ban, Guardiola added, we were under suspicion. The people in the club, they showed me the arguments, and we are optimistic. If it doesn't happen, we have to accept it.
Yeah, I like the way he said if it doesn't happen, we have to accept it, because that fifth spot, even with the EPL, they've sold that fifth spot. They are now looking for the person that will go to Europe for them. So Manchester City, whether you appeal or not, it's almost as if the EPL has moved on very quickly. But for the game today, it's very important for Manchester City. They have struggled this season, even when they've gotten results. Sometimes they had to grind out results, as opposed to last season where those matches would have been a little easier for them. And having Raheem Sterling fit is a good one for the year. Before he went, he was struggling to score goals, but Raheem Sterling's pace and the position he takes up can make it hard for a defender like Sergio Ramos, who does not know sometimes that you can't use hammer to kill a mosquito on your iPhone. So he has to
Get that from?
So
I watched that build. You can't use the hammer, right, to kill a mosquito, right, on your iPhone. Okay, now that was it. That was the cake.
So I mean, Raheem Sterling being back will help them in that aspect, and he'll need him there. I like the fact that they didn't rush him into it. You know, because sometimes some players, the doctor just says you're fit,
and then you're back on the field.
Then immediately
and then they're back in the hospital.
Yeah, so but give them a chance to build up. Also, Real Madrid on the other hand, are also wounded. Like I said earlier, Eden Hazard is out with an injury, not the brightest star in the sky, but he's a pretty much important player, and he's out with an injury. He would have known how to play Manchester City, having played in the APL for a long time. So he's being out also puts them at a slight disadvantage. I hope for today that Zinedine Zidane will just try small and test Jovic. You can't buy a player and just keep him on the bench. Remove the cobweb from his armpits. Let him run on the pitch. Zizu, if you're listening to me, I'm your friend.
Zizu.
Because calls on YouTube says Chelsea were so poor, not a day to start experimenting formation and rotation for Lampard.
Not today.
And then Ikai says, kindly look for a Chelsea fan. Give them a hug and be mindful of Corona. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
Emeka from Amua says, please, today's session should have been called hashtag banter Chelsea with Coca-Cola. That second half was horrendous, he says, hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
And then Ejike from Ogba says, before anyone comes at us that the Stamford Bridge has been demolished by Bayern Munich, please remember that from the beginning of this season, all known records at the bridge have been broken. So the Paco crossing at SW6 was just removed by the big small boys from Bavaria. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
This is who now? No name to this one, but I'm just gonna read it. It says Arsenal 1, Bayern 5, Tottenham 2, Bayern 7, Chelsea 0, Bayern 3. Anytime Bayern are in England, they play in London Arena. Hashtag banter better.
Ridwan says Scampard and his Baba Blue Boys were beaten mercilessly last night like Agbero's been a conductor. I see them turning back the tie at the Allianz Arena by winning 0-5. Audio winning though. Hashtag
emphasis on Scampard.
You guys are mean.
Easy Classic sends in a very long one. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. He says, I really love Bayern Munich's hospitality to Chelsea fans last night. They refused to rush the goals. They didn't want Chelsea fans to leave the stadium earlier. As for Barcelona's game, it seems like Messi and Griezmann were the only people that featured in yesterday's game because the rest players were nowhere to be found. Napoli's performance was amazing. I just hope they don't keep it up. I just hope they don't keep it up.
Okay, this is classic. I want to agree with you. Every single Barcelona player played 4/10. Okay, apart from Vidal, who played 2/10.
Griezmann was not even visible in the entire match, apart from the goal that he scored.
So they were all on 4/10. Then Vidal 2/10. Then Ter Stegen was good. He was like 7/10.
Yeah, he was the only good one because he saved them, and they even ended the match on a negative note because Gerard Piqué might be injured. Jordi Alba also, and they have suspensions. Vidal
And Busquets.
Sergio Busquets.
Guys,
Such
we
a
have
poor
plenty,
game.
we have plenty more to go.
Manchester United to succeed with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, says Ed Woodward. He said, we are pushing for a strong finish in the Premier League, the Europa League, and the FA Cup as we enter the final third of the season. We have continued to make progress in our squad rebuild with many changes in terms of players that we have brought in and players that have come through our academy. The foundation for delivering the long-term success that we're all working towards is in place as we implement our plan and our footballing vision with Ole.
Well, that long time has to start in about 3 seasons' time because I don't see any success coming Manchester United.
3 seasons.
I'm just giving them the benefit of doubt. At least 3 seasons' time, that's when any sort of success will come to Manchester United, because who wants to come and play for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Any player that wants to come to Manchester United wants to come because they'll be playing for the Red Devils, not because they're going to be playing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So Ed Woodward is just trying to psych and support Ole so that other people, like players also, can get behind him. But for whether he's going to get successful at Manchester United, not in the next 3 years, maybe after 3 years. So very long term.
Sports psychology then. Now let's see now who is this DJG finest from a jiggler says, as I did laugh for one bros for they look me say waiting they make me laugh. Waiting funny for here now. That's all I'm saying. The country is hard and things like this they give us happiness. Hashtag Banter Better with Coca-Cola. I think he's referring to his last post that he made.
And then Bingpe says, hi Bingpe, hashtag Banter Better with Coca-Cola. We will pupil another Napoli game at the Alliance Arena. Trust me. Okay, we trust you. Hashtag Banter Better with Coca-Cola.
Tayo Yaba says, at this point, 3rd Mainland Bridge is better than Stamford Bridge. Ooh,
Nice one.
so that's the only bridge I recognize. Hashtag Banter Better with Coca-Cola.
Thanks, Tayo.
All right, Jurgen Klopp, Champions League triumph instilled never say die attitude. He said the Champions League final against Tottenham helped a lot to know we are able to keep winning. We just try to make the best of what we have. I am pleased with the attitude we showed. We lost a little bit of patience in the first half with what we did offensively. What you say, guys?
But I into that final, won that final. The belief was now there because they've been getting into. Think about it. They got into the last year's final. They just didn't win it. They were neck and neck with Manchester City in the league. They just didn't win it.
And the last final, he even got to in Europa League.
Yeah,
they lost
they
to
lost
Sevilla.
again.
Sevilla.
So it's just he's been knocking on the door. The minute he won, there was nothing you could do to his belief system again.
Stood up.
And that's where Liverpool said it, and that's why I keep saying that Liverpool will find a way to win. And so when West Ham was leading by 2-1 after coming from behind, in the 57th minute I said, Liverpool will score. You would have scored the second goal by the 89th minute. That way you can defend for at least 4. But they scored in the 57 minutes, you would chop like 4.
And luck is also on their side. Yeah. They are the team that have benefited most from goalkeeping errors this season. 10 times they have.
It's what happens when
practically gifted them that game.
Second, it's what happens when you are in the zone. Everything just
Works
seems
for
to
you.
work for you. Even the ball boys in away stadiums will be throwing the ball for you. Everything will just work out for you.
All right, so we have Femi from Pestac here. Oh, this one. Someone said Chelsea loaned out Stamford Bridge to Bryant to train for quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Philanthropist, hashtag Banter Better with Coca-Cola. All right, Lagos, that's all we have for you. In case you want to join the conversation online, you can still do so on Twitter at Smooth981FM is the handle. Use the hashtag. Don't forget, this weekend is the El Clasico, but we still will be coming back on Friday to talk a little bit more about it. But before then, this one from AGK from Ogwa to take us out nicely says, on behalf of Chelsea fans, you can banter Chelsea with Coca-Cola for all we care. We have been down and the only way forward is up, though not in Bavaria. As a banter us, don't be too stingy not to refresh us with some bottles of Coca-Cola. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. Nice way to sign out.
Very nice.
Thank you very much, Tega Supreme, at Tega Supreme on Twitter and at LIS International for her wonderful work with sports. And also we have, I promise I was going to
Let's see if you remember.
No, just better say it yourself.
OOL on Instagram.
I'll never forget it again.
So she says famous last words. Lagos, thank you very much for being a part of the locker room here. All right, everybody out. We'll be back on Friday for another edition.
Somebody hailed you.
Who's that?
Yes, now Mazino. After your YouTube comment.
What about?
What you said
Perhaps
now.
it's about the Uti
Yes,
comments.
I was after you said it.